Today we are out working on our petunias. I think you remember I was putting these petunias in our petunia planter maybe a month and a half, 2 months ago, right around there. And this is where we're at. She's looking great. And I've had lots of compliments on this planter. So again, I want to say thank you to Will, Jean, and Zach, because everyone loves the way these gals look. I'm very pleased with the way they are looking. I was sad to realize that I put in the wrong petunias. When we put these in, I was supposed to put in wave petunias. They grow much larger. So these gals are not going to get as big as I originally anticipated, which is fine. I'm okay with it. For about 35 seconds, I considered cooling them all out and putting in wave petunias, but then I realized I don't have the energy for that, and I'm pretty pleased with the way they look. The one thing I don't love is that you can see the corners still of my planter. So I popped in a supertunia, and she's sort of peachy pink right now. She'll turn a brighter yellow when it gets hotter in the summer, and I'm hoping that'll drape over enough to cover my corner. If not, it's not the end of the world. So I am going to come through and show you how to deadhead your petunias properly to keep them blooming as much as we'd like them to. I'm also going to show you what I use to feed my petunias and keep them as happy as they are. And I will show you what I'm using for bugs, bloodworms, anything of that nature. We've got something that comes through and chomps on some occasionally. But the things that I'm using are doing pretty well to keep them at bay. So everyone looks pretty good. I'm getting lots of compliments on this planter. Everyone who passes by says my petunias are beautiful. So let me show you some of the tips and tricks to help you maintain your petunias and get yours doing what you want them to do. And we'll get right into it. The first thing I want to talk about is when you are deadheading your petunias. Okay, so instead of pulling just the petals out, you really don't want to do that, because in the center your flower will start to set seed. Plant set seed, she won't bloom anymore. And the whole purpose of these petunias, they're annuals. We know they're not coming back next year, so it's not like we're going to stress them, but we want them to just be showstoppers. We want them to bloom and bloom and bloom. So cut off any heads, but you make sure you pull the stem off as well. Don't just pull your petals out, because that's an easy way to deadhead, but that's also an easy way to end up with just a bunch of green foliage and no flowers. So make sure you're pruning them back the correct way. Trying to set you up so you're nice and steady. We're taking the whole stalk off. So you want to go through your whole plant and deadhead this way. This is how you're cleaning up petunias. And this is for regular petunias, and I believe your wave petunias. Your supertunias are self-cleaning, so you don't have to worry about doing that if you've got supertunias in. After you have finished doing your deadheading, your pruners or trimmers or whatever you're using are going to have a sticky residue, because anytime you're working with your petunias, they've got that little sticky film. You want to wash that off with alcohol. You want to keep those clean. You want to feed your petunias. As I said before, these are workhorses in the way of blooming. We want these to just keep on. So we're feeding them. And what I use is something that I use throughout my garden, and I've used it for years. It's organic ag products, and it's called plant superfood. And you're going to mix this in with water, and a little goes a long way. So this is just a sample size, but if you are using the large size that you actually get, it's going to last you a long time. It might last you through all the way through fall. And it's full of amino acids, and it's just, you're essentially feeding your soil. You're treating your soil like this living thing, which is exactly what you should do. And in turn, it's feeding your plants and replenishing those nutrients that we wash through pretty quickly because we are watering and watering, and these girls love a ton of water. So you want to keep them fed, and this stuff is great throughout your garden, for trees. I actually met these guys at a walnut conference. So this is something that you can use out in the orchard as well. And it's really good stuff. I really, really am pleased with that. So I will put a link to their product in the description down below if you are looking for something. These guys are great. They're super friendly. It's an excellent product. You would be wise to give them a try. So I will see. This is not sponsored in any way, shape, or form. You can use the stuff that you get at the big box store. I don't know how that works. I have not used that with my petunias, but you can use whatever you'd like. This is very crazy. I have to pick you up. Okay. Now, the last thing I wanted to talk to you about is pests. We end up with bloodworms. We end up with slugs, whatever's coming through and chomping on your petunias. The one thing that I find works really well for me in my garden is this Dr. Earth's Final Stop. And I use this, I showed this on a video that I was working on, I think the succulents or the roses, and I was dealing with either aphids or mealybug, and I use this for both. It's great stuff, and it works really well in my petunias. When you're applying it to your petunias, don't put it on the petals, get down into the foliage, give it a few sprays deep down in the foliage, and she'll just do what she's supposed to. Now, obviously, if you have budworms, you're going to want to visually inspect. If you see any budworms, you want to remove them and do away with them that way. But this is a great preventative. It works really well. Dr. Earth's Final Stop, and I'm going to put an Amazon link in the description if you cannot find it. I know some of the big box stores do not carry it. Some do, some do not. It's all pet safe. It's all people safe. You can use this in your veggie garden. It's totally fine. But this keeps your pests at bay. And you don't have to put a ton on. One other thing of note is when I'm watering and when I'm fertilizing, I'm coming in deep down at the bottom of the plant. I'm trying not to wet the petals. They don't like to stay very wet. That's not something that goes over very well with them. So do all of these things and your petunias are going to be really happy. I don't know how big she'll get. Like I said, I don't think she's going to get much bigger than this, but she really colored up nicely. So I'm very pleased with it, and I'm just going to ride these gals out for the rest of the season. So I hope this is helpful to you if you've got petunias in your yard or in your garden, and I hope you guys have a good one. Thank you for watching.